You're quite hostile.
I got a right to be hostile, man. My people been persecuted.
AC Sports Live is brought to you by All In CDO Training, the future of commercial driving. Earn your Class A and Class B license and endorsements with courses online and in person in the city of Long Beach. Call or visit the website 909-708-4861, www.allincdotraining.com. If you're unemployed, underemployed, or just want to change a career, scholarships are available, so don't worry about the cost. Give them a call. All In CDO Training, the future of commercial driving. AC Sports Live is also brought to you by Mood Swing Apparel, DEM Clothing. Dominate every matchup, period. Check them out, Mood Swing Apparel on Instagram. AC Sports Live is also brought to you by Cannon Nation Boxing. If you want to learn the sweet science of boxing, or if you just want to get a real good workout in, working out and training with pros, check out CannonNationBoxing.com and become the best version of yourself today.
He ain't never slumber, never put him to the test. He be reigning king forever, resurrected after death. All praise to God, brother, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, all praise to the one.
Yes, sir. All right, in the building. Test 1 2 1 2 1 2. It looks like it's working. It is working. Let's get our background music in so we can flow to the vibe. AC Sports Live. 1/27/26 on the calendar. 9 o'clock on the clock. And Rubio first in the building. It is showtime. And you know, I'm going to use your tender love tweet a little bit later. Crazy times we live in, man. Not that surprised though. We live in a time where anything goes. So we got Super Bowl 60, prime time. Coach Prime is in the news again. Shedeur made the Pro Bowl. Tender love report. Got some guys lying about how big or how small they are. My sports flicks, I watch Smashing Machine. And I have Coach Cobb's Corner. We'll get into that. First things first, the Super Bowl is set. And the two teams that I thought would make it, made it. Not necessarily in the fashion I thought they would make it, but they're here. And we got Sam Darnold versus Drake May. I was surprised at the stat or just the information that Sam Darnold is the first USC quarterback to start in the Super Bowl. Was Troy Aikman the first UCLA quarterback to start in a Super Bowl? Those little stats are pretty cool. I mean, there are so many like little bullet points of information when you dig deep. For this matchup, Seahawks versus Patriots, they're going to have to make some stuff up because this might be the worst matchup that the NFL could put together as far as storylines are concerned. Seahawks versus Patriots. If you're a Seahawks fan or a Patriots fan, you're in hog heaven. But if you are just a football fan, you got to find some storylines for this one. There is a revenge factor here. Dr. Frazier's in the building. They did play for the Super Bowl not too long ago when Russell Wilson did not hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch, instead threw the ball, which was an interception. that was a interesting Super Bowl. That kind of broke up the Legion of Boom and everything. That was interesting. So that could be a storyline that they bring back up. Rubio's happy. He says, "Go Hawks." I got the Hawks. The early odds got the Hawks by 4.5. So a little bit more than a touchdown or 2 field goals. Seahawks are favored. And an over and under of 45.5 to 46. I would take the over because somehow they're playing in Santa Clara, so the weather won't be a factor. So I think the Patriots will score more than 10 points. I'm sure the Seahawks are going to score more than 25 points. They'll try to play defense at first, but they'll find a way to open things up. I got the Seahawks by 7, maybe more than that, maybe 10. But you still have the unknown. Drake May being his second-year player. I think he's ahead of schedule. I had a student, Nick Barrera, who was a huge Drake May fan when he came out of college. And I said, it's going to be a while before that kid, makes a name for himself. But hey, here we are in year 2. So I was wrong. That kid can play. Didn't play very well last week. He only had 80 yards. And there goes your double standard. If Jalen Hurts would have had 80 yards going into the Super Bowl, they'll be underdogs by like 25 points. But it was very tough to play in Denver, especially in the fourth quarter when that snow began to fall. We couldn't even see the football, let alone the lines on the ground. But for the first 3 quarters, nothing happened either. There was no snow. So there was no excuse to only have 10 points. So I think the Patriots might be at a disadvantage offensively in comparison to the Seahawks, who have weapons. But JSN and Sam Darnold with a good running game. Got UCLA wide receiver out there, Bobo, even though he's not a focal point, but you got the league's leading receiver in yardage, JSN. So it should be a good game. It won't be the blowout we saw last year when the Eagles beat the Chiefs like they didn't belong. This one should be a good game. 2 defensive teams, but I think the Seahawks have more offensive power. And then I got the Seahawks by 7. Maybe I'll say 6, so they win by 7. Now, if you plan on going to the game, good luck. I saw a graphic for ticket prices in the respectable bottom 2 rows of seats, be it the AFC side, close to the front. A ticket was close to $266,000. And a few rows back from that, tickets were $65,000. And not to bat an eye, 2 sections over, no longer on the 50-yard line. You're on the 30-yard line. It's still $19,983 for a ticket. 2 more sections over, it's $15,000 for 1 ticket. And if you back up to the next section back, you figure section A, section B, section C, all the way up to the top of the stadium. We're talking $53,000 on the 40-yard line, $21,000 on the 30-yard line. Who can afford these tickets except corporations? Maybe the kids in the portal can afford these tickets because they got money from just jumping in the portal and trying to change schools and get a bag. If you get $5 million to transfer, you can afford a $20,000 ticket. Now, I don't know about that $266,000 ticket. That's ridiculous. That's pure evil, man. If you can put that much money on a ticket, on a 2-hour game, well, 3-hour game, halftime show, that's borderline sin, man. That's gluttony. Who needs to sit that close and spend that kind of money on a ticket? That's not fair to the fans. So if you have seats in the boondocks, where are the players' seats? Because every NFL player gets two tickets. And those 2 tickets used to be a huge bonus for us players who didn't get to the Super Bowl, but you got those 2 tickets and you could sell those tickets to corporations. I would sell my tickets every year to the same corporation for $2,500 a piece. So it was a quick little $5,000 bonus by having Super Bowl tickets. And then when those benefits stop, it so is hard not having those 2 tickets where you can count on someone buying them off of you, cash money, no questions asked. So who y'all got? We got Seahawks. I got Rubio. I know he got the Hawks. Dr. Frazier, who you got? We're gonna try to watch it. It should be watchable. Unlike the Pro Bowl. That's why I'm rocking my son's Shedeur Sanders jersey this evening, because Shedeur, has been selected to the Pro Bowl. So everybody's in the uproar about how a 5th string quarterback who did not have the stats or the success that warrants a Pro Bowl selection. Let's not forget what the NFL is for. The NFL is for entertainment. It's not always about who's the best or whose stats were the best. A unwatched program like the Pro Bowl games, where the Super Bowl is the most watched program on television almost every single year, depending on who's playing. I think last year's Super Bowl was watched by everybody and their mama. This Super Bowl may not be watched by everybody and their mama. The Pro Bowl game is not even watched by everybody. Throw out the mama. Who watches the Pro Bowl games? Nobody. But who had the highest selling jersey among all the rookies? Shedeur Sanders. And who's the most watched rookie when he played on national TV? Shedeur Sanders. So it makes sense to me why they would pick Shedeur to play in the Pro Bowl games. It's not even a real football game. It's a flag football game. So what is the problem? When other quarterbacks have turned down the Pro Bowl because it is cheesy. It is unnecessary. I liken it to LeBron turning down the dunk contest. To certain players, it's not important. But to some players, it's the world to be included in the Pro Bowl festivities, where you could be seen by fans, kids in person. Everybody down there is having a good time. You signing autographs, you're visible. You're not wearing a helmet. You're amongst the people, and it's just a good time. And then we might even turn the channel and watch it to see if Shedeur is in there, and is he getting down with the pros, throwing the ball around like a professional Pro Bowl quarterback. So we'll tune in and watch Shedeur. Even if I had the money, I'm not sure I would even go. Not comfortable, and too many people. Old man rant. When they had the Super Bowl in San Diego, I'm trying to remember who played, but we had tickets, we had hotel room, we went to the festivities. I think my drill brothers went down there, I think we sold our tickets to the same corporation we always sell our tickets to, and that was the year I think Willie McGinnis had a big party, and Jonathan Ogden put all of our names on the list, on his guest list for the Ravens. And I know Willie McGinnis, I grew up with him, so it shouldn't have been an issue. However, the guest list is the guest list. So then when we got to the front, our names weren't necessarily on the list. I think it was some kind of discrepancy. So I had to holler at somebody to get Willie for me, so he would come to the front and let me in. And it was just funny because I think my name was on the list as Anthony Cobbs, and Willie knew me as T from growing up. He just called me T. He never called me Anthony. So I think he forgot my name was Anthony Cobbs. And he said, I don't see your name on the list. I was like, it's right there. He said, oh. That's a funny story when you know somebody so long, but you never knew their real name. That lets you know how insignificant you were to them. So Big Will was like, hey man, that's your boy. Tell Jonathan to put your name on the list. I said, it's on there. He put my real name on the list. So that's funny. I got big time, Rubes. Got big time at my own buddy's party. Tragic, man. Dr. Frazier said he got Seattle. It's going to be hard for the Patriots to beat Seattle, because look how far Seattle is from Santa Clara. It's going to be a home game for Seattle. The Patriots travel well, but Seattle's 12th man is going to drive straight down the coast and be at the game. So I would believe it'll be 60-40 as far as the audience is concerned, for the 12th man versus the Patriots fans. Now there are a lot of West Coast, Patriots fans, but I don't think the magnitude will be balanced. I think it will be a majority 12th man, because it's hard to say, but the Seahawks might have the best fans in the NFL. They are really a factor when it comes to playing a game in Seattle. Can they travel down the freeway and make that same impact here? I don't know. We'll wait and see. But Shedeur making the Pro Bowl. Not surprised, man. He sells tickets. He makes you watch because you're not sure what he's going to do. And in this case, it's a game that nobody really cares to watch. It's a flag football game for NFL players with hats on backwards, jewelry, colorful cleats, colorful gloves, flags. Not the kind of football that we used to watch in the Pro Bowl. The days of Sean Taylor blowing up a kicker on kickoff are gone. Guys don't want to get hurt. I blame LeBron James, man. I blame LeBron James. Whole different sport, but the guys who don't want to play in the All-Star game, who don't want to be in the dunk contest, who don't want to do the three-point contest so they don't get exposed, who don't want to play every night. I think they were online arguing about how hard it is to play 82 games today as opposed to the 70s and 80s. Like the 82 games today is harder. I don't know if that was true, but they got LeBron out there saying 82 games today is harder than 82 games back then. I'm not sure how he figures as such, but that's what's going around. Nah, man. Play. You only play for 20 years of your life. If that. Play. Pro Bowls, it's an honor to play in it. I know you don't want to get hurt, but there's a way to play football without getting hurt. But I get it. So you watered down the Pro Bowl, now you get what you get. Now we got flag football. I don't know if that's even necessary. Just have the skills competition, name the team, name your Pro Bowl team, and maybe have the rookies versus the second-year players. The newcomers, the up and rising stars game. Young boys don't care about getting hurt. It's the old vets that don't want to get hurt and jeopardize their career. We rather watch real football than flag football. But this is their stab at making this day watchable, bringing in Shedeur. So guess what? I'm going to watch. I'm going to see what Shedeur does. And I promise you, them NFL vets are going to be right there with him, enjoying playing with this young phenom. Dr. Frazier said 50 million is so much money compared to the 80s and 90s. The money they make today, guaranteed. I wonder if the contracts have changed where you had to play a certain number of games to get your money. Because now, your guaranteed contract, no matter how many games you play, and you have coach's decision didn't play. DNP did not play. Coach's decision. You blame Greg Popovich for instituting DNP. We got back-to-back games. I don't want my stars to get hurt. I understand that. But if it's doable, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, I don't remember Kobe ever doing load management. But LeBron's, I hope he didn't say that, because he's just continuing to knock down his legacy, and in everything that he's built is starting to crumble as far as the lore and the belief that this man belongs in the GOAT conversation. When his career speaks for itself, but when you keep speaking about, the difference in the different eras and the different styles, it's going to make you look less than. Coach Prime is putting it out there. Most of his kids are getting paid NIL money. Most kids on Power 5 teams that were in the portal got some type of money to make that transition. And when you have money as the reason why you're at a certain team or school, money is very important to you. How do you implement discipline with a young person who has millions of dollars in the bank? Well, in the NFL, when you're late to a meeting or you skip out on a workout, they fine you. Big fellas come to camp the wrong weight, they'll fine you per day that you're underweight or overweight. They hit you in the pocket. They don't even say, hey man, we're going to punish you for being late. They just say, hey, you're late. You owe us. It's a fine. Well, Deion Sanders, who got in front of the NIL 3 years ago, getting all the way in front, and that this is how it's going to be, I'm going to use it to my advantage. Now we are looking at teams who don't have any chemistry, don't have any camaraderie, don't have any sense of community. They just come into a new organization and play ball. So how do you instill a Patriots way or Buffalo's way, a discipline about your team, identity about your team? Deion Sanders has implemented a professional tactic to get some act right amongst his players. He's going to fine them. He's going to hit him in the pocket. And it's simple. You late to practice, 500. You don't come to practice, 2,500. If you're late to a meeting or film work, $400. A no-show to a meeting or film work, $2,000. You late to conditioning, $1,000. and so on and so forth. He also said, we're not wearing the outfits of the previous school you attended. Don't wear your old team's gear in this facility. I'm sure there's a fine for that, or they'll ask you to go change clothes. He also is a coach that requires his student athletes to sit in the front 3 rows and take notes, and no slides to class. You have to wear sneakers or some type of shoe. No slides. You don't wear your hoodies. You don't use your phone in class. And they'll have people kind of spying on the kids to make sure they're doing what's right. He has to do it. Otherwise, student athletes will take advantage of the situation. There are a lot of student athletes out there who are not student athletes. They're just athletes. And they've been getting by being the man at their small high school, and they get to a big school and then they figure they can still do the same things. But a coach like Deion Sanders knows that he has to implement some type of system that guys can respect. You don't want to have to be running gassers every day with 22-year-old kids. Because if they're going to start going older and want to start treating them like pros, then you hit them where it hurts, in the pocket. D-Mac, fight in the house. Nope, Rodney Sauce, my good brother. So I'm okay with it. Why are you coming to practice late anyway? You're supposed to be early. If you want this, if you want to be a pro, you get out there early and work on your craft before it's time to start practice. I've always thought, like, if I ever became a head coach, that all the things that I know are important to my athletes, I would have to be knowledgeable and know the buttons to push. I know playing time is important. I know starting is important. And I have to use that. Not that it would cause the team to lose, but I have to find a way to get my leaders of my team to buy in to what I'm cooking. We're on time. We watch film. We learn our plays. We go to class. We're respectful. If I hear anybody acting crazy or disrespectful on campus to any teacher, we're talking about taking away minutes. We're taking away plays, like certain plays that are designated for a certain star player. There's a way to get some act right. There's a way. You have to figure out what that is. For today's college athlete that has NIL money, take his money. You should be on time. You should be in class. You shouldn't miss bed check. I think Mick Cronin is in the news today because he sat somebody down from UCLA who decided to skip practice or something to be with his girl. And he's catching flack for that because UCLA just beat, I want to say, Purdue, a ranked opponent, and they come right back and the guys get lax and lose all sense of what they need to do and start skipping workouts or meetings or whatever it might be for a social situation. Your girlfriend? Really? You play for UCLA. It's big time, man. You don't act like this not big time. J-Max said, I see my son's getting them good workouts in and I'm proud of him. Keep up the good work. Hey, man, he's trying to get it. He's trying to stay right. And it's looking like a rebranding. So we'll keep you posted. Something on the horizon in that he was challenged by UCLA coach Bob Chesney to play tight end. And he was like, well, why not? You're an athlete. And with your size and speed, you be a special tight end. So not only can you play outside backer, but while we have this window of uncertainty where you're going to play, let's work on some tight end stuff. And y'all know how I don't put too much extra on things. Like, I know he's a good looking athlete. He's my son. Of course, I'm going to say that. But when I'm throwing the ball around with him and we're doing routes and I can't throw the ball far enough, my old 52-year-old arm can't deliver the ball on time because this kid is so fast. So everything I'm throwing is like high and outside, and he's going to go get it. And I'm like, well, shoot, man. If he can complete the rebranding, this time next year, we're going to have a problem. So the idea might be go somewhere, get some film this year. Maybe even go down in divisions just to get some film. And then redo this for his senior year. So I know he's hungry. It's probably too late to get into a program right now. But once spring ball is over and summer comes, some programs might come calling. We have our eye on a particular school that would allow him to play tight end receiver. And if he gets the ball in space, it's going to be okay. We got something. Max says, so what happened to the portal situation? He's in there. He's in the portal. He's in there. The portal is tough, man. Because now kids got agencies who have made connections before the kid even enters the portal. So when a kid enters the portal, they have a place to go. And they already have money already negotiated. Those are the players who have established themselves as a Power 5 or even a smaller school bona fide player who has played, a year and a half, 2 years. Now, there are some student athletes who get blessed and go somewhere off a couple of plays. Or they were very highly scouted out of high school by a certain coaching staff. But then there are 5,000 other kids who don't have that. And my son falls in that category. The benefit for my son is he has great grades. So him having 4.0 GPA, he can go to a lot of places that will give him money academically. So that's what we're looking at. So a lot of the kids that we've worked with that are in the portal don't have the academic acumen and transcripts to go anywhere but JUCO or Division II. Division III schools are typically academic schools. NAIA schools will, they vary between academic and spiritual based universities. We have a lot of options in that area, but we're going to do what's best, for him in this situation that he's in. And, when the announcement comes, you guys will see and know why he made the decision he made, because at this point in time, for all those kids in the portal, it's about film. So a lot of them should be thinking about going to their local junior college just to get on the field and get film. And then you might end up at a very small Midwest FCS school, NAIA school, but you'll be somewhere going to school for free. But you have to make that commitment to get some film. And, unfortunately, my son couldn't get that film at that Delaware State. But, it just wasn't a good fit. And we recognized that we weren't going to waste another year trying to fit into an institution you don't fit at. So, West Coast boys sometimes struggle in the HBCU arena, because you have a lot of guys from the South and them country boys, and bros from the East Coast is not different than bros from the West Coast. So even the coaches are different. They act different with kids from California. So if you got juice and you can move around, do what's best for you. No hard feelings. You got to do what's best for you. It's a different day. The con man is in here. What's up, bro? What's up, boss? What's my take on Belichick not taking the first ballot to NFL Hall of Fame? Appreciate you, man. That's actually part of my tender love report, and I think we can get to it. I think we've covered Deion's fines and his situation in Shedeur. So let's just hop on to it, man. The Tender Love Report, brought to us by All In CDO Training, the future of commercial driving. All right, so word on the street is that Bill Belichick did not make the ballot for the Hall of Fame. Excuse me. So a coach that has 7 head coach Super Bowls and 1 as assistant coach Super Bowl is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, is the talk of the town. And reports have come out that it's because of the cheating they did in New England during those 7 championship rings. Spygate, Deflategate. And I think it's pretty hypocritical, because it wasn't a problem when they were in the midst of doing it. They still got to win the championship. They turned a blind eye when it was happening. They gave him a slap on the hand. Now they want to punish him from the Hall of Fame for some film. Pete Rose is no longer with us, and he bet on his teams to win, and then they finally let him in the Hall of Fame after he died. Terrell Owens was made to wait because of his antics off the field. So you're going to make Bill Belichick wait, but he still was able to coach. He was still able to function. Maybe I'm oblivious to it, but I think it's pretty, like the writers who vote for the Hall of Fame, I think it was 39 votes. You need 40 to be on the ballot. He got less than 40 votes. So it's possible he got 39 votes, but you need 1 more. Who are those 11 writers who said no? We need to know who they are. Because Spygate or not, that was what, 1 season? It was probably more. And I'm pretty sure he's not the only coach or organization that has watched some film, some practice film of the opposition. How else are you going to get ready for a game? You watch film. How you obtain that film in this situation was how he got in trouble. Then they said the balls that Tom Brady used were illegal, which also was a crock to me. I don't know. I just think it's petty, man. That's why it's Tender Love. What else is Tender Love? Diego Pavia lying about how tall he is. And I'm going to give him a break because I did the same thing in high school. I said I was 6'3". I was 6'2.5". On a basketball program, I was 6'3". And then I got to the NFL Pro Day, I was 6'125". So that's a 2-inch difference at least. So I kind of, I feel for young Diego Pavia. The problem with this cat is he was already tabbed as a douchebag from the Heisman Trophy antics. The things he was saying, how he carried himself. Everybody was turned off by it. And now you a little runt. 5'9", maybe 205 pounds. So now you're too small. So now your body type is a UFL player. If that. So we know Diego Pavia is the one who took his case versus the NCAA to get his years back from junior college, because he knows he's not an NFL quarterback. So he's trying to maximize his time in college. But acting like a douche and being a little guy doesn't help us hope you make it. We almost anticipate you not making it because of how you carried yourself. Now you are a winner. You win. You helped Vanderbilt come out of the dust to become a contender. You beat Bama. You did some great things. You were in the Heisman Trophy running. Come on, Short King. Can't you acting wild like that? You gotta have some sense about yourself, man. Where's my slate for today? All right, so I did watch Smashing Machine, the Mark Kerr biopic. It was interesting, to say it politely and say it nicely. My son and I watched it. We're wanted to see The Rock. I heard it was his best performance. He looked weird throughout the entire thing. He had on those prosthetics to make him look like Mark Kerr a little bit. He didn't really look like Mark Kerr. Mark Kerr didn't look like that. But The Rock did a good job because we did feel for him. My question was like, well, why does this guy have a biopic? Because it didn't seem like he achieved a whole lot. He's one of the pioneers of the UFC in pride fighting. So he was a really good, wrestler, but he wasn't the best striker. He would pound you and smash you, but he never really came across as like, a GOAT. So he had a lot of marital issues. He was addicted to painkillers. He was 15-11 was his record, with one no contest when he got kneed in the head multiple times. That was a pivotal fight in the movie. He fought for 12 years. And he was dominant in his performances early in his career. I'm waiting for the Royce Gracie biopic, the first UFC champion who went undefeated for a long time doing the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. My brother Josh Johnson put us on the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu in college. We used to do Jiu-Jitsu in the front living room. And we would see how impressive it was for a little guy to beat up a big guy based on grappling and angles and submission moves. The movie itself left me a little bit lacking. He's a really soft-spoken, kind giant. And it was kind of like, is he gonna be abusive, or is his wife just abusive? And what about his career was so groundbreaking that they should make a movie about it? And he overcame addiction. He didn't show up at certain fights. And I was just left lacking. I immediately thought it's not as good as Iron Claw. And Iron Claw was a tragedy. The Von Erich family went through a lot. And you know why that was made into a movie. This one here left me wondering why this was made into a movie. I don't know if Mark Kerr was interesting enough for a movie. His career wasn't interesting enough for a movie. But The Rock did a good job. Emily Hunt did a good job. Or it was Emily Blunt did a good job. But I, glad it came on cable. Glad I didn't see it in theaters. I'm glad it was, kind of free to watch. Max said, I've got my fingers crossed for Lil Cobb. I appreciate you. He gonna be all right. He gonna have a breakout season, and it's all gonna work out because he's a great kid. He loves Yeshua. He's at church on Sunday. He's on the praise team. He's a 4.0 student, and he's big and fast and loves to lift weights. So all those good things, the coach is going to be like, hey, man, we got to steal. And I think that's what's going to happen for him. I know what's going to happen for him. So my recruiting rant, or my Coach Cobb's Corner, we wrap this up. 3-star recruit Ben Boulware out of Oak Grove High School is being recruited by a bunch of schools. Some Power 5 schools: Michigan, Florida State, Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, SC, North Carolina. And then you have some of the Group of 5, James Madison, Liberty, schools like that. He picks HBCU, North Carolina A&T over all these top-notch schools. He's a 3-star. So a 3-star getting recruited by those big schools. The strategy is go to North Carolina A&T, start as a true freshman, maybe play 2 years, dominate, be all HBCU, and get the bag. That's the plan. That might be the plan for most recruits. That should be the plan for most recruits. Right on, D-Mac. You got everything going for him. All you got to do is stay motivated and stay after it. So Ben Boulware is thinking long term. He can go to Michigan and sit the bench. These 3-star, 4-star kids can go to Oregon or USC and sit the bench. But if you're not going to be an immediate impact player, and you're not going to be starting your first year, you might want to reconsider. Because getting in the portal is not convenient. Moving is not convenient. It's not fun at all. We've done it twice now. And we've kind of come to the realization that film is key. You have to ball in order to be somewhere where they're going to use you in a manner where your talents will be maximized. So by the time you're a senior, you're at a place that has notoriety and some type of name at the next level. It's not about the bag only, but that's just what's going on now. If you can get your grades up, get your film up, you can go anywhere in the country after you've shown you can play. So keep an eye on Ben Boulware. Am I saying his name right? Yeah, Ben Boulware at NC A&T. He's going to dominate, and someone's going to offer him $1 million to change schools. And at that point, that will change his family's situation immediately. He won't bring home the entire $1 million. He might bring home $500,000 after all the fees, agencies, and things like that. But it will be a very good payday for a big fella that's trying to, do it the right way. And I would suggest a lot of kids start thinking about that. Before you go to your dream school and end up in the portal, think about playing time. Schools aren't developing kids anymore. You got to develop yourself. And how you develop yourself is playing. So you got to go somewhere where you can play. Not somewhere where you can contribute. Unless the person you're behind is a senior and they're promising you'll start your second year, which is also risky because they're going to be bringing people in from the portal who they are also promising will start. So the days of competing is not completely dead, but it's close to it. When you're no longer allowed to compete for your position, you got to leave. They say you can stay if you want to, but they say you're not going to be able to compete because we're going to bring in some guys that are going to be better than you. That's tough. In our day, We had a chance to compete. It might take 2 years, but you're competing and earning the trust of your coaches. By the time you're a junior, you're starting. And in your senior year, you're sitting lovely, because they're not going to bring in somebody that they trust more than you. They've seen you play for 4 years. They developed you. Now coaches have to win in year 2. Year 1, you can come in there and contribute a little bit, but year 2, you better be starting. So what Ben Boulware is doing is he's guaranteeing himself playing time by playing down and then planning on going back up. That's the new model. That's what I tell the student athletes at my school. Don't turn your nose up to Division II and Division III or NAIA. You need to play. Junior college, wherever you end up going, you need to play. And then after that, you need to have some contacts. You need to get your name out there, and you need to go somewhere where you can play again. Because you can go somewhere on your 3rd time and still not play. So the idea is get on that field any way you can. All right, man. In this early, I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover today. Yeah, that's it. With everything going on in this country, I'm praying for peace. I'm praying that these ICE agents would chill. No matter where you are on this political spectrum, wrong is wrong. And people don't need to be dying during deportation. A lot of these guys are not qualified to be law enforcement. These are guys who were bullied in high school and can't fight. So their first instinct is to kill and shoot people who are unarmed and not trying to even cause harm to them. And it's sad to watch. And then it's sad to watch people defend it. Like we can't see what we see. Like I see what I'm seeing, and you're going to tell me what I'm seeing is not what I see? Do not insult my intelligence. We know when someone is threatening another person. As black people, we've faced this for the last 400 years, where we've been told the narrative is that we were threatening, or we were in a position that made the officer feel threatened. I was in fear for my life, or whatever the argument or excuse might be. If this is America, shame on America. America already has too much blood on her hands to now be shedding the blood of innocent Americans during protests. And then something will have you believe that this has been going on since the abolition of slavery. When the jail system was put in place because they needed to find a way that we could put these people back into slavery. So let's arrest them for doing anything wrong. And if they didn't do anything wrong, let's put something on them to portray that they did something wrong. Again, this is not even like necessarily political. This is right and wrong. Black and white, not red and blue. If somebody is not pointing a gun at you, or somebody is not physically able to hurt you with their arms and their fists, why are you so afraid? I have never seen so many cowards in my life. I appreciate you, Dr. Frazier. We're going to stay blessed, man. You stay blessed too. Every time I see young Cos, he looks great. Keep grinding. Oh yeah, he going to be all right. He'll be just fine. He going to keep you pushing. All right, man. I think that's my time. I just got off my soapbox. Again, all we can do about the situation in this country is pray. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to pray about it too much. I'll pray about it every day, that we would be able to see a different day. We're like Dr. King now. I pray that there'll be a day where we don't have to see this kind of stuff. There'll be a day where we can see our kids play together. In the meantime, We got to deal with this foolishness. So what we going to do about it? We're going to pray about it, because I can't do anything about it going out here and being a victim to somebody who thinks that I'm a threat. So, all right, y'all. Y'all be easy. Y'all be blessed. Until next time, I'll holler at you. Y'all be easy. Peace out.